For activity 1.2, we have this problem as a homework. Using another product, for example, bread or clay pots, explain with simple illustrations how division of labor or specialization could be used to make the product. Um, and B, explain the possible advantages or disadvantages of using division of labor for specialization of or specialization of labor to the business you chose. Okay, so this is self-explanatory and we shall be applying what we have learned. All right, so the next topic is about the purpose of business activity. All right, so let's go back to it a little bit here. Okay, we have identified the following issues in the past. People have unlimited wants. We know the four factors of production. Scarcity results from limited resources and unlimited wants. We also know that we also have learned that choice is necessary when resources are scarce. This leads to opportunity cost. Specialization improves the efficient use of resources. Okay, all this we have learned, and now let's go to the definition of businesses. Okay, businesses combine factors of production to make products like goods and services which satisfy people's wants. So far, we have hardly mentioned businesses, and yet this is the purpose of this book. Okay, business studies. Where does business activity fit into the ideas we have already looked at? Now, the purpose of businesses is to combine the factors of production to make products which will satisfy people's wants. So we combine land, labor, capital, and enterprise. These products can either be goods, physical items such as cars and shoes, which we can touch and see, or they can be services such as insurance, tourism, and banking. Okay. And then businesses can also be small, just one person, for example, like Joe Sharma and Jack Sharma. No, Joe Sharma only, because Jack Sharma has made the business bigger in time, or large, like what Jack Sharma did in their family business. Some businesses employ thousands of people with operations in different countries. Businesses can be privately owned and owned by the state or government. They can be owned by one person or by thousands of shareholders. And whatever their size and whoever owns them, all businesses have one thing in common. That is to combine the factors of production to make products which satisfy people's wants. We all know that the factors of production are 1, land, 2, labor, 3, capital, and 4, enterprise. Okay, let's see. We have here some examples of businesses in farms, factories, and offices. Businesses in all sectors of industry produce goods and services by combining factors or of production. Now let's see. Let's read on. What would life be like without business activity? All right. In simple, undeveloped economies, businesses do not exist at all. Everyone attempts to do everything for themselves. They are self-sufficient with their own plot of land, and by their own efforts such as hunting, they attempt to survive and produce enough for their own needs. This is a very basic existence, and living standards are low. By a slow process of specialization, people began to concentrate on what they were best at. They then traded those goods for others made by people who had different skills. In this way, businesses began to be formed, and trade and exchange of goods expanded. Okay. In today's world, most people specialize by working in one job for a weak wage. With this money, they are able to purchase a wide range of goods and services produced by many different businesses, specializing in different products. Therefore, business activity 1 combines the scarce factors, 2 produces goods and services, and 3 employs people. Okay, so we read on the definition for each of these. Okay, let's see. We have an example given here. If the selling price of a newly built house is 100,000, okay. These are examples for the added value. The added value refers to, let's go to the next page. Let's see first. Okay. Here, here we go. Um, the added value is the difference between the selling price of a product and the cost of 1 minute. Okay, let's have this one. Okay, and the cost of bought in materials and components. See, we have here the added value. Okay, the value added to the product. Once it's done, okay, you add the value to the expenses or the cost of raw materials in order to arrive at a selling price of your product. Now, this is not called the profit. Why? Because from this money, the added value, we only get the extra excessive amount from where we will get the cover the expenses made to produce your product or your service. Now, if for example, you still have you have added up all the added value, you will then have to deduct like um, payment for wages and you know anything, any other big purchases or rent from the total added value, and then you will have your profit, realize your profit. So adding value, when you add value, you sell price less cost of bought in materials or components, you increase the price, and you may reduce material cost if you want to increase the added value, increase the price or reduce the material cost. So let us try to go back to um, um, mhm. Why is added value important? You see, this is just a summary given. Now let's go back to the reason for why the added value is important. Here, added value is important because sales revenue is greater than the cost of materials bought in by the business. What is meant by this? First, can the business can pay other costs like labor costs, management expenses, and costs including advertising power. And the business may be able to make a profit if these costs come to a total that is less than the added value. Okay, so the example I gave her is the cupcake, right? If you want to like sell cupcakes, you have to buy the ingredients, and with these ingredients, um, you will have to assign, um, or for example, you are preparing 100 cupcakes for a friend who ordered from you. The expenses, for example, is like 39 or 40 reals or $40. And so you have to um, divide $40 divided by 100 because you're producing 100 cupcakes. Now, if for example is 40 divided by 100 will come up with like 4 tenths or 40 cents, right? Okay, so with 40 cents per cupcake, that will be your expense. Now, if you plan to sell your cupcake for like $2 each or 2 reals each, you'll have an added value of how much? Minus 40. $2 minus 40 cents is 160. So each cupcake, your added value is 160 times 100. It will become um, times 100. It will become 16, like 160, isn't it? Okay, $160 or reals. So This will be the computation of your added value.